In the name of God, peace be upon you and happy Eid. I greet you a new episode of your program Al Majles, and we will be with you for 2 hours to talk about the Hijazi heritage and the customs and traditions, and we have guests who are concerned with the old popular heritage, and Mr. Ayman is with me. We renew our meeting with you on Iqra channel and live throughout 24 hours in order to live pilgrimage and Eid, and we have paragraphs to satisfy you and the anecdotes of pilgrimage and the last developments, and we reach the Hijazi arts, a light episode which is about the Hijazi heritage, and we have the photographer Samir Al-Aufi with the original and folklore, the Faisal Labban, and the singer, our colleague Yahya Al-Shatari. Ayman, we have prepared a guest to talk about the ancient heritage, and he is a host who is reputed in this country, Hassan Abu Nader, and he has a good seat in Khair and Jeddah. Peace be upon you, Abu Hassan. You have long experience and a lot of concern with the old city in Jeddah, visited by 2 million people, and you have a seat, and we would like to know through you what is the maq'ad or the seat. It is a house, a small room at the entrance of the house. It is that room is the owner of the house. It is his location and receives his visitors, and the people in the lane, they are collected there and they talk. This is a sitting room. It is a sitting room on the ground floor and at the entrance of the house. In the international newspapers and channels have come in order to take photographs. It is the sitting room and there are ancient houses which are still available. We talked about it. The UNESCO it became more famous. This is by the efforts of the responsible people. It is as it is 400 years and minarets 150 years. The heritage is available to maintain the antiquities. The sitting room, المركز, الدكة, these slang words in Taif, Jeddah, and in Hijaz. You know the difference between each one of them. It is in order to explain here, the al-maq'ad, which is a room inside the house, and this is as it is different from the sitting room inside the house. It is well known from an old time. It is open for 24 hours to receive visitors and some people from the lane, or it is called divan, or a small sitting room for the, and a dakka. Some people, it is also near the door. It is a part of the house on the same. It takes 2 or 3 small rooms, very small. Take 2 or 3 persons on 2 sides of the door. Dakka or dikka. It is dakka. Dakka on the side, on the right side or the left side of the door. المركز sittings at the street. It is on raised a little bit to be be seen by the people. This is the مركز. Means that's it is in the beautiful days. How Eid was at that time, the Ramadan Eid and Hajj Eid, it is different. We are happy with it more in Ramadan. We pay attention to more to Eid Ramadan, and we bring our things and buy things from the beginning of Ramadan, store them and get them out and look at them, and we go and say hello to and spread these gifts on the occasion of Eid. There were etiquettes were taught to the sons and the other. There are Muslim Islamic etiquette. Some you tell your son that he will sit in the al-Maq'ad, or only the old aged who sit only. The young from the house, they bring things to the father only. The small or the young, they don't sit among the old people. The words said, and in respect of them, they don't set the young with the old. Go and play with the young as you. After certain 16, 20, to start to sit with all respect in order to hear the words and not to speak anything, to speak balanced words, and see his uncle or cousin and just an idea, to get an idea. And he shouldn't speak in anything and observe his words. Everyone respects the other, and respects the young, respects the old, and we will talk about the days of the past. We have Abdel Nasser al-Ghamdi will give us a report. Peace be upon you. I greet you and the viewers from Mina. Today is Eid, and you have a light in your face. Abdel Nasser talked to us about atmosphere in Mina. Now the atmosphere is cold a little bit. After the rainfall of today, there are still winds and help them, and it is moderate, and the clouds are still all are preparing for the second day of Eid, and through the 3 Jamarat, and hurry in farewell circumambulation, and the security people, they are preparing the second way to organize the movement of pilgrims, and all sectors, governmental sectors, are ready and applied all the traffic plans in order to direct the pilgrims to the mosque of the haram, the inviolated the precinct, and they are ready to, and they took their positions early, and they directed their camps and have the shifts of throwing the jamarat in order to have overcrowding at that place. There are 4 floats, and the pilgrim walks in them, beautiful atmosphere. And now the atmosphere, how do you read them and the faces of pilgrims after rainfall today? Before rainfall, the pilgrims here, they are preparing for saying farewell to the place with sorrow and sadness after this gathering, great gathering. These 5 days, there was mercy and brotherhood among them, and this is the value of Islam. Also, it is the weather changed from yesterday. There was a humidity and hot, but today there are moderate winds blowing at the pilgrims with cold breeze, and we ask God that their pilgrimage will be accepted. Those who want to hurry and leave Mina, they can. Thanks to God, there were no accidents. This, as mentioned, the official speakers, that the percentage of rain was 1 milli, and even did not affect the roads, and even there is no thunder storms, and that the rate, was 1 millimeter, and it is ordinary in such place. This is the mercy of God, and they were asking their God, Allah, for rain, and thank you from Mina, and thank you for your efforts with us. And I ask God to make their pilgrimage pure and acceptable until they leave the land. Talk about the house, al-maq'ad, sitting room, and small. You receive the pilgrims and you go up at the roof. It depends on the room in which we were living. We take our things and we put them and leave the rooms in order to sleep in them. There were no hotels at that time. They sleep with us in the same house, and most of the families goes up at the roof. It is prepared to sleep up in order if anyone who has space for the pilgrims, he can receive them, and to guide the pilgrims and to receive them. The enjoyment is for us. They are the guests of Allah. We were waiting for Hajj in order to carry out such services. and he sees his uncle, his cousin, his father, and they work, and if he wants water, if he wants to go to the mosque with him and to bring him back, and the children used to learn simultaneously and by practice they could learn the all types of services. After the break, we will talk to Hassan. Thank you. Welcome our viewers. We are still with you in Majles and this beautiful anecdote with Hassan. And welcome Sheikh Hassan. We talked about the pilgrimage. How did you receive the pilgrims? And the pilgrims will go to Medina or Jeddah through the airport or the sea. At those days, how did you receive the pilgrims after they come back? And as we received them at the beginning, we receive them and guide them, and we send them to the airport or the harbor to give the last impression, which is the very good. It should be very good. You have memories. Do you have any situation? I think there are many. If they ask you, and one of the mosques he is asking you, I am living. You take him in order to arrive the place which he wants because he is stranger, and we are used to help him and take him to the place which he wanted. And we wait for him until he completes his affairs and that, and bring him back with us. We some of them speak Urdu, Persian, Indonesian. Did your relationship with the pilgrim end at the time of Hajj, or it continues? Some of them have waqf endowment to have in Mecca, Medina, Jeddah. Jeddah, there are waqfs or endowments, but not as before. Next year I will send you people and take care of them. He gives their name. Everyone, I am from so and so. In Jeddah, he is called agent, not circumambulator, and he takes him from the port or the airport and sends him back. Every nationality has an agent, and the agent, the guides are in Medina because they guide people to the places. What is the difference between past days and these days? Now it is organized, it is institutions, it is not guides, and it is the relationship between the pilgrim and the people of the city. There are some employed by the state in order to organize it. As a citizen, when I see him in the street, I can serve him by question and answer. The organization is done by the state. When the poets, when they talk in Hajj, especially in these days, we have directly a poem called Yusuf Haimi, and he is the poet of the country. You are welcome, our poet Yusuf. We will go through the topic directly. You have a group of lines of poetry which suit this occasion. At the beginning, happy Eid. I congratulate you on this Eid. Actually, on the occasion of pilgrimage, it is repeated every year, and it makes the feelings of poets and everyone. Actually, we don't say pilgrimage only. The poetry always is linked with a place more than anything else. I wrote a poem about Mecca and Medina, and I talked about the importance of Mecca and Medina. I don't want to go in this field now. If can we hear the poem? What is the motive for this?
تزهو على الدنيا بصفة أحمد وتطل في غنج من الجوزاء وعلى يمين مقامها حورية معمورة الخدين بالأنداء تبادر الثقلان لحن نشيدها فتعيدهم من ضجة الأصداء قوسان في كبد الخلود تعانقا فانداح بدر الأمة القمراء سفتان فالثغر الندي قصيدة ومن القصائد ما يراه الرائي المطعمون أولو الشجاعة والندى والناصرون الدين في اللأواء الناحتون من الصخور منازلا والنائمون على صفوف الماء قمم الجبال الشم تحكي أهلها وهنا النخيل حكاية الشعراء ماء العقيق سقاية من زمزم والقبر سنو الكعبة الغراء الوحي عدل الحجارة سلسل أحد هنا وهناك غار حراء الوحي عدل الحجارة سلسل أحد هنا وهناك غار حراء قمران واكتمل الحجاز مجرة تهب الكواكب نشوة الإسراء ترنو فتختصر الزمان بنظرة ألف تتيه على القرى بالياء.
يعطيك العافية شاعر.
Thank you our poet Yusuf Al-Sahimi for this beautiful lines of poetry, and thank you, and we hope to meet with you again. This beautiful atmosphere, what the old things which you remember and which you hope that these things will come again.
شيء يسميه الخليف. الخليف معناته ما في شيء، ما في عدس. الناس قليلين في الشوارع وقليلين.
The people after pilgrimage, the streets will be without anybody. There are a few people, and on the with the we work as guard for the lanes. Everyone goes in order to be a guard for certain area, and we have a whistle and a stick, and you whistle to him that everything is okay. No accident. It is secure from the beginning. And we used to feel happy that we are guarding the lane. You enjoyed us and honored us. Thank you very much. And we hope that your visit will be repeated to us. Thank you. Meet you in other programs. Hopefully. Now the photography. After this clip,
زاد شوقي للمدينة شوقي للمدينة والحبيب لذكرت كل أوقاتي تطيب لأن ذكره يطرب القلب الحزين في المدينة ليتنا طول السنين يا أهل طيبة حذتم القدر الرفيع جوكم بالمصطفى دايم ربيع جوكم ينفح بعطر الياسمين في المدينة ليتنا طول السنين يا أهل طيبة حذتم القدر الرفيع جوكم بالمصطفى دايم ربيع جوكم ينفح بعطر الياسمين في المدينة ليتنا طول السنين زاد شوقي للمدينة والحبيب لذكرت كل أوقاتي تطيب لأن ذكره يطرب القلب الحزين في المدينة ليتنا طول السنين بختي من زار بنية واعتقاد نالي مطلوب وقصد والمراد والسعادة باتقعد يا ودين في المدينة ليتنا طول السنين بختي من زاروا بنية واعتقاد نالي مطلوب وقصد والمراد والسعادة باتقعد يا ودين في المدينة ليتنا طول السنين زاد شوقي للمدينة والحبيب لذكرت كل أوقاتي تطيب لأن ذكره يطرب القلب الحزين
فعلا ليتنا بالمدينة طول السنين.
We
أنا
hope
المدينة
that we were
وظلت
in
لكون
Medina
ومن
throughout the
شاء
years.
وما شغل تتلمذ المجد عند مدرستي حتى أصبح عالما رجلا. اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله
May God bless
اليوم فقرتنا عن
our Prophet Muhammad and give him peace. The photography to be famous while you are behind the camera, and those who are behind the camera are more famous than those before him. This is a press photographer. We see the Hijaz photographer in Hijaz heritages and to highlight the old heritage, the present young people, and we are pleased with you, Hassan. The titles are so many. I am from the city. My concern with the art, the ancient sites in the country. When I go out from my house at the same quarter in which I was born, everything old is nice and beautiful. This did it make you in being here? I have been here 3 years and a half. Some people think that I have been for 30 years. Everyone has an artistic feeling, but it is enough to show such talent. Perhaps I am from the dwellers. I attend some artistic exhibitions. You see the painting more than the photography, and shows it more. You take a picture to the house and that's all. But the artist within the city, they show some cracks in white, and these things but people do not understand them, because I am from the inhabitants of the city. They called me the photographer of Hajj.
عندنا فاصل استاذن
We have a break and we will come back to you.
مع سامر العوفي مصور الحجاز.
اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى الكافرون.
مشاهدينا الكرام ما زلنا
Dear viewers, we're still with you, continuing our episode, the chief, the king of photography.
الحمد لله حضورك
My presence is everywhere, thank be to Allah. The love to people, and the people love to me is something precious. And
انا اكتشفت نفسي بنفسي
my, how did you, who discovered you? I discovered myself.
انا وزميلي
I was in Sharm el-Sheikh.
فقلت له شوف في كذا صوره
I was with a friend called Rekab Abdulaziz.
فخلينا
I found an image. Let me just take this photo. I found this the same photo.
قلت له من يومتها لازم اشتري كاميرا.
So since then, this image matches the photo that I took. So since then, I decided to buy a camera.
اكلم زملائي
So I started start talking to my friends, and I told them I would like to learn photography, and all of photographers refused to teach me photography because I seem to be old,
تعبنا وما
and they may think that I may be giving them hard time.
هذه الاسماء لكن عملت حركه حلوه
But I made a nice move, and this is the first time I say this, and I said it on radio.
قررت اني
I decided to go to Lebanon
اجر سياره
to rent a car
اللي في السياره يكون مصور فوتوغرافي
where the driver is a photographer as well, and I spend 12 hours in Lebanon
لين الليل
from morning till evening till night, and I didn't go to any hotel. I was only in the car, and
قلت للمصور لو
I didn't know anything about the camera, and I asked the photographer to teach me some stuff,
عشان لا يكون المبلغ يطلع علي عالي
and
لانه
I avoided to seek a media man or a professional photographer, so he won't charge me that much.
$1000
So because the training may cost about $3,000, and God bless him, he taught me, and then he took me to the mountain. He started teaching me about photography, and he took me to coffee shops until I got the initial instructions of photography, and I spent time with Saleh Shibli and with Matoug al-Sharif,
كلهم حقيقه كلهم
and
قلت لهم انا
happy returns to them. I told them, I'm your sons.
وفوني وانا
You should lead me, and I'll be with you. And they took me from one place to another, and I told them, and I may tell one, please just keep me with you, until I found Hani Abu Jaid, who is a good friend of mine, and I told them, I beg you, let's be good with each other, and let's make a duo with each other, a duetto. So he said, let's go up to a party, and then we went to the party, and praise be to Allah, me and Hani Abu Jadail, the only one who were working as a duo. A lot of people feel like Samir Al-Aufi is a newspaper photographer. I work in in ads at the newspaper, but it has to do with ads, but I am away from the ads work because, as if you said, but all my photography is has media. It is exhausting, but in our establishment or at our association, they're kind of mad at me, or they wonder how I can be able to compromise between each of them. I didn't work in commercials, photo shooting. Let's go over the images or your photos that you took. Those photos, because the CD didn't work, so we took just a quick bunch until we have the images. Let me ask you one more question. 3 years, and praise be to Allah, you made a name. Are social media outlets one of the main reasons for that? My success was because of social media. When you take a picture of a photo or a VIP or a prince, people would want to see reality. When you photo shoot a special occasion, people in the past used to hide those pictures. And usually the photographer, he would hand out his pictures to the newspaper. But sometimes it may be one or two, but now with using social media, you use the whole 50 pictures or 100 pictures by posting them. So when you go to a wedding or an occasion, someone would ask, "Where's my pictures?" I would tell them, "Oh, you can find it on Instagram or Facebook." So I won't be receiving those calls requesting those pictures. I will tell them just to go over the social media. You said you have 3 exhibitions, previous exhibitions? Yes. 3 exhibitions. I was successful in my first exhibition. Mr. Muhammad Abdo, how can you reach to the artists of Arab to launch or to inaugurate your exhibition? I was only being a photographer for 6 months only. And we were at a party at Ali the Gagangash. We had Muhammad Abdo and Abadi and artist Walid Tawfiq and Hassan Husni, big names, Muhammad Hashim, big names. And those big names now, why don't I establish an exhibition? And I met Muhammad Abdo during dinner, and I asked him something. When I was feared that he may have a misconception. I want to establish or launch an exhibition that I want you to inaugurate. He said, "If you go to the end of the world, I will come with you." Oh Lord. He said, "Even if you travel the whole world, I'm going to be attending with you." This is what I call art. That's what I call art to me. The art that I earned, because Muhammad Abdo agreed to launch this exhibition. We went there 3 times to him to make sure that he's going to be fulfill his promise. All of his interviews, he said, "I'm going to be with Sami. I'm going to be with Sami." This is the first exhibition, and the first exhibition called The Frame. This is the song of Muhammad Abdo, which is its title is The Frame. But during photography, any photo you take, it's within the frame. The second exhibition was called Ad-Dakka by the patronage of Mishal bin Abdullah and Mishal bin Majid, Prince Mishal bin Majid, and about 800,000 visitors. The third exhibition, it was in Eid and Ramadan, and we had 1,300,000 visitors. This is the fountain of Jeddah at sunset. As you see, this is the fountain. It's flowing within the sunset scene in the background, and you have to pick the time. The artist used to pick sunsets and sunrise. This is Aidarus during the Eid time. Oh, any visitor wanted to see this beautiful view. It's an old games, and you can see Al Falah school. As you see, it's the oldest school in the city. It's historical. You can see all the old games, and I see the photographers choose wind, maybe the speed of the wind, and maybe they're aware of the climate change. But during this time, if you go, if you are at a high altitude or an area where there is dust, this is near the sea, as you see. But they were taking care of its cleanness. As you see the bridge over here, they cleaned it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful scene. This is the bridge on the sea. This is the tower on the bridge. Plus, this is the hotel, the Hilton Hotel. Do you adjust colors? No, I don't adjust. No, I don't. This is from high above, top of the tower. This is Jeddah Islamic Harbor. This is a weird, strange pictures. It's not in Saudi Arabia, isn't it? This is in Rafia. This you can see the giraffe is as tall as the tree. I was thanked by Bandar bin Abdulaziz for these pictures, particularly when I was there. When I came up with this beautiful picture. Look at this sea. Look at the pigeon. The charitable people, they put the grains and where the pigeons comes all over the place. This is beautiful scene at the sea. This is a verse from the Quran, and these are the raising hands. This is a humanitarian case here at Nasif House. He gives away charity. This is a humanitarian case before your eyes. He's in a good humanitarian posture. Look at these old ships and those yachts at the Bangala. Behind it, the tower of the Islamic Harbor of Jeddah. You told us about the photography in Lebanon, and you learned photography in Lebanon. There is freedom, of course, outside kingdom. There is a freedom according to the tradition of the country. But now we have an Islamic traditions, and people are not used to photography because sometimes they may fear the flash. And now you have to put the community in account. But in other countries, you can be able to enjoy photography. But this perception is getting different right now, or changing. But the social community, social media is changing people. Now, selfie has been prevalent right now, as you see, even at the holy place. Selfie is common. Before you didn't hear about selfie at the holy site. Selfie is not something new. I don't know who came up with it. I don't know where the word came from, but now selfie is prevalent. It's very common. The exhibition happened and took place in Jeddah. Had a special place in your heart. They think that we became guides for pictures. We're not just photographers. When the visitor comes, we're going to introduce him to the history of Jeddah, how our grandfathers used to live in this historical area, how their language, their words, the eating habit, the balila food, the liver, the seating area, seating areas. How many visitors in the two exhibition? I had about total of 1,800,000 visitors. I had about 2 million visitors. This is the statistics by the state, and the kitna and the frame. We belong to the state, under the shadow or the umbrella of the state. I don't want to interrupt you, but praise be to Allah. You felt that you're presenting something in the exhibition 30 days in Ramadan and explaining those pictures. I had colleagues helping me back in a group of young men. They were meet with me every day. When I have another group, they learn these words from me, and they start delivering because they felt the historical aspect of this area, and they felt my life. And I'm gonna thank those young men, beautiful group. But let me tell you something. Now, when you visit a country right now, tomorrow morning or tomorrow night, see the amount of foreigners in the historical area. You find a guide who's telling them about those houses by their names and telling the stories of those houses. You sit with the house owners to tell you about this old stories. So this is beautiful, and sometimes the camera would introduce those houses and to write something below each house. Thank you, photographer Samilofi. Thank you. You enlightened us in this studio, and they were so beautiful. I'd like to thank you. Before we go for a break, I would love to present and extend greetings to your mother, because she was the secret behind your success. And I'd like to tell her greetings for this Eid and many happy returns to her. And thank you for my success. Thank you so much. So long. We didn't end our episode yet. Now we're going to have so many guests after this break who are excelled in this topic. We have the enchanter Faisal and Yahya. So stay tuned, please. Welcome back, dear viewers, the viewers of the Divan. In this part, the part of the chanters, our chanters excelled and had a big base of fan, and the love of people urged them to continue in this path and this art. We will welcome the chanter, Mr. Yahya Ash-Shatir. Welcome, thank you. And many happy returns to the Islamic and Arabic nation by the praise of Allah. And this is while we are in the last episode of this season, we would like to host the chanter of Hijaz, Faisal Al-Labban. This is the first time I came on air with you. Let's start with Faisal, because it's the first time you are on air with me. Why did you excel in this field of this art? In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful, good evening to you and the viewers. And let me even say good morning. We're at the morning. Now, your friend dragged me. Your fragment, he was pushing me. I told him, you didn't exit the consecration yet. We were pushed to go out from Azizia. And happy returns to you. And this year I didn't live the whole thing about Eid, because I was a pilgrim, me and my family, and we had some hard time. But I swear to God, it's not a statement, but I performed pilgrimage 13 years ago, and I had my permission. And I came out with the permission, and the number was great, was high, and today, this afternoon, I went out and I was wearing my dress and just to walk out, and we had a little gathering and in the camping. But I had a party with some brothers, and may Allah assist them. You asked me about the melody or the tone. Every time when you ask someone, like you ask him about his start, I may say, or someone may say, I started at the radio or thing like that. But for example, when someone start this, he would be start as a calling for prayer, or he start calling the prayers. I remember when I was young, I used to wear this vest and this turban. I used to love it, and I used to love the Hijazi recitation or the calling for prayers of Hijaz. 20 years ago, any method, we will pursue any method to learn the melody. And we are a very conservative family, and if there is something has to do with music, my father will tell me, "Oh, don't listen to it; it's not good." But any tune, or maybe you find like a guitar or something. But you know, the conservative community, and this delayed me. But I hope that if we had someone would teach us the melody without instruments. Now we teach it and we learn it without instruments, without music. There are books, and they took the Hijazis back in the days. It's used to give you that peace of mind. It will calm you. Give him. Let's hear one tone real quick from you.
أين النشيد أين النشيد السلسليل أعذب غرد بربك فالنفوس مشوقة لسماع صوت بالغنى يتصبب
God bless you. That's beautiful. How did you start? I started the same way as my friend right here. I was seriously. I used to lead prayers, and sometimes I used to recite with using the Hijazi method. And praise be to Allah. When you sit, if you are among the people of Mecca, He will be keen to the Hijazi method. And they told me, your voice with the Hijazi style is beautiful. Why don't you learn? People used to urge me and tell me, keep telling me this stuff, and until I started to learn it, as they say, it came by instinct, by nature. Yeah, you're like a whole school, man. Would you? Are they ganging against me? Did you pay him? Did he pay you? You enchanted a lot of stuff, and stuff that no one could be able to master it, even your brother. And even I asked him about you, but he said I cannot be able to use his style. I remember it yesterday at the party at the camping, and I've been having a lot of invitations, and I lost my voice. Even behind the barriers, The woman gave me the microphone, but I lost my voice, and they keep asking me, sending me requests. But I said I'm tired. I can no more sing or chant.
ترى كلنا تعبانين ترى كلنا تعبانين
We are all tired, honestly. This is different, guys. May Allah accept from you your pilgrimage. Even though I'm tired, pray upon the Prophet. Peace and blessings be upon the Prophet.
يا ليت شعري كيف حال أحبتي وبأي أرض خيموا وأقاموا يا ليت شعري كيف حال أحبتي وبأي أرض خيموا وأقاموا قف بالطواف ونادي يا الله الله قف بالطواف ونادي يا الله الله إن الكريم يجيب من ناداه ناداه رب رحيم مشفق متعطف لا ينتهي بالحصر ما طاه رب رحيم مشفق متعطف لا ينتهي بالحصر ما أعطاه ثم الصلاة على النبي تخصه وتعم بالخيرات من والاه
Oh Lord, God bless you. May prayers and blessings be upon the Prophet and his companions and his family. Yahya, God bless you. Recently you had a lot of enchanting movements here and there. Can we go over your productions and your recent work? I have an invocation is gonna hit the market, and there's another chant is coming on the way. This is soon after the pilgrimage by Allah's help. Do you think this is like individual work or it's like singles or like an album? Initially they're going to be like singles, but in the future, by the praise of Allah, we're going to be having an album. Can we hear something from this invocation? The one that is going to be released soon, yes. Go ahead, please.
فلقد علمت بأن عفوك أعظم إن كان لا يرجوك إلا محسن فبمن يلوم
يلوذ ويستجير المجرمون إليك وسيلة إلا الرضا فدليل عفوك أنك محسن
Beautiful, Faisal. Praise be to Allah. You reached to a high level of fame. Didn't you think of establishing like an institute or something where chanters can be able to join? I'm intending to do this after the PhD, but now I'm busy with the masters. PhD in what? And a PhD in the Arabic tones, but in English. When you're gonna be finishing this? We're gonna start the discussion next year. How did you present the research? I'm gonna tell everything. The idea now, I started to write a book, and this is an academic book. Is it like a booklet? The mother book is the master's thesis. Dear viewers, we're gonna go for a break, but we have a lot to talk about the booklet and the book and the PhD in English and the Arabic melodies. Please stay tuned, dear viewers. Welcome back, dear viewers. We still continue with the divan, with the chanters, with our guests Yahya and Faisal. Welcome back. Praise be to God, you transmitted the atmosphere of the pilgrimage to the viewers. We want something about the Eid. We didn't speak about the PhD. Shall I leave? Oh, it's all right. I can leave. We want something from Yahya about the Eid. But Abu Mahmoud, he said you lost your voice completely. So leave the chants here and you give me the questions. Change the tune.
فأوقد السعد خافية وألحى أطلق خيول المنى في كل ضاحية واسكب شعورك أزهارا وريحانا بوركت يا للفائزين إحسانا أعد علينا هذا العيد
أنا بدك ترد عليه.
Just let's stick to questions. Let's continue the path of PhD and melodies, tones, and English. Tell us about it. Let's track it back from the beginning because it's a long story. The idea was the book and the booklet. The book encompasses the small booklet and the master's thesis. Tell me, what's the title of my thesis? And am I gonna tell you the questions? You're supposed to have the questions. Dear sir, the idea was the thesis under the title. I graduated from the Islamic and Sharia faculty, Al-Quran, and during the time of the Prophet and ancestor companions, what are their vision with regards to the tones within the Quran. The PhD, when I started the masters, when they were discussing it, we don't know the tones, the melodies, and all that stuff. At the beginning of the thesis, they got the booklet. Yes. Phonologia, phonetic, the science of voice, the pitches, history, the scientists, and they're discussing with us the evidence and the other stuff that the ancestors and the scientists talked about, and then we're going to come up with the conclusion after the discussion. This is the masters, and we want to talk about the book. About the thesis, the booklet here is has 4 chapters, and how they put the frequencies and the vocalist, the harmony in English and German and Italian, and the melodies. And then the Iraqi, the Levant, the Moroccans. We have 360 melodies to study, and we have the acoustic. It's the medicine and acoustic. So where is the throat strings? Where are they? They are here. Under the throat, the neck. This we have 2 chords. We have 2 chords, sound chords. Now the 2 chords, they're like this, when you start talking, they start shaking and producing these frequencies. And then when you eat and drink, it's going to close up thus, and food is going to pass behind it, pass down. And then if you have a little risen of food in between those cords, you're going to be coughing. You're going to choke. That's why you need to cough so you can get it out. So let's go over this real quick. What did the director tell you? Those voice cords, we have a picture in the booklet. From all this conversation you heard in PhD, that the idea is that the melodies and the tones that we're talking about and the harmonies in English, and peace and blessings be upon you. That's it in short. In fact, I'd like to thank Faisal and Yahya, and we wish if we had more time, but in coming interviews, we can be able to achieve this. This was the last episode of the Divan. I wish that we achieved success. I ask Allah that we were successful in presenting this program during the days of pilgrimage. And I wish if we presented also a good material as well. We will meet with you in other shows on this Golden Channel's Iqra satellite channel. And you have blessed times, and peace and blessings be upon you all.